Most of the memories of my childhood are as vivid as a movie I just watched yesterday. But the things that went on between my dad and I in that trailer, merely silhouettes. Vague, shadowy, faceless images that I've done a pretty good job of avoiding. But vivid, the sound of my sister crying from that back bedroom. The sound of flesh on flesh as he slapped the people I loved around the house. The sound of a bone snapping when an arm or a leg would be broken. Yeah, I remember that. My sister finally left. She ran away. The pain of the beatings and the other abuses became more than even she could bear. Soon after she left, I started getting in trouble all the time. My emotions were all over the place. I was constantly being told that I was having feelings that boys aren't supposed to have. Well, I did. I escaped in poetry, and you better believe I would hit them. But my granddad found him, and he screamed at me, "You must be one of those effing queers. Boys don't feel this shit." I did. I was 12 years old the first time I attempted suicide. I was so screaming for help. Nobody heard me. At 13, a therapist told me, "Son, if you're not an alcoholic already, you soon will be." I spent much of my adolescence incarcerated because jail was my safe place. Jail was the one place that I never thought of hurting myself. So, at 21, I finally ran away from Kentucky and came to Florida only to become a homeless junkie. I had a size 9 blue flip-flop, a 10.5 red flip-flop, one pair of blue jeans and one t-shirt. That was all I owned, and that was all I cared about owning. At 26, I spent an entire weekend injecting suicidal amounts of dope, asking after each shot, "Was that one big enough?" And when it wasn't, I would just do the next one a little bigger. Finally, I ran out of dope. And when I did, I looked up at the ceiling and I meekly said, "Please, just don't let me wake up." 3 hours later, I came to like a gun had been shot in the house, realized I wasn't dead, and looked back up at that ceiling and said, "F you. I asked you to do one simple thing for me. Just take the breath out of my body, and you can't even do that? F you." Well, that night I went to my first 12-step meeting, and I had no idea that my life was about to change forever. That was 1984. It was 1990 before I drank again. Fortunately, it only lasted for 6 weeks, and back to the 12-step rooms I ran. In 2007, I had done a lot of therapy. I'd done a lot of 12-step work. I'd done a lot of workshops. I'd learned a lot of healing practices. I learned a lot, and I healed a lot. But in 2007, the darkness came back at me with a vengeance. It's like it had a life all its own, and it was pissed that I had left it behind. First was the anxiety and the panic attacks. They consumed me. I was the epitome of what someone with multiple years of 12-step recovery was supposed to look like. I had a business that was seemingly successful. I had a beautiful fiance that loved me. I had a new car. I had a nice life. Hell, my shoes were even the same size and color. Shortly after the attacks came the suicidal ideations. I could not escape them at all. If I was awake, I wanted to die, and I was crying, period. It no longer mattered who saw me cry. It no longer mattered who heard me cry. I could not stop crying. First, I was hospitalized, then a homeless shelter. I lost it all. The business, the fiance, the car, my mind. And let me tell you something. If you haven't been there, you have no idea the terror and the pain that comes with having just enough of your mind left to know that your mind is gone. So what did I do? It started with letters. I started writing these letters to myself from the God of my understanding which meant those letters were always loving, gentle, encouraging, and kind. I wrote those damn letters every day for over 5 years. I still write them if I start getting a little squirrely, which is at least 3 or 4 times a week. But they calm me, and they bring love back into my life. And it's been worth it. The result? Today, I'm a reasonably happy man that lives with a reasonable peace of mind. Today, I'm a man that has written and published 3 books. I host a podcast for mental health issues called Morph Into a New You. I'm a certified thought coach. I'll speak just about anywhere somebody will listen. And I own an air conditioning company. I stay a little busy. But the real thing about who am I today, I'm a 61-year-old man that sometimes still misses my mom. I'm a 61-year-old man that more than anything else in this world still wants my mom to be proud of me. And by the way, real men and boys do cry. Thank you. I'm going to ask you to help me